The attitude concerning labor. While I was reading Nixon's address to the nation on Labor Day, this quote caught my eye. Let us realize once and for all, no job is menial in America that leads to self-reliance, self-respect, and individual dignity. How many of you have judged the middle-aged McDonald's employee? I know I have, but this judgment is part of the problem. Flipping burgers may not be their dream job, but it is necessary to society because someone has to do that job, and it allows them to provide for their family. Thinking about this led me to this question. How can the attitude concerning labor in the United States change in order to improve the economy? I already established that the attitude was a problem, but the economy is too. This graph shows that the average annual change in mean family income peaked in the 60s and has since then decreased for almost all classes, especially the lower class. In the 2000s, the annual change decreased for all of the classes for the first time in history, showing that the economy needs help. After my research, I found that in order to change the attitude concerning labor in the United States and therefore improve the economy, there should be less regulations on labor, more rewarding benefits, and stricter laws regarding welfare. There are many different types of regulations on labor and business in the United States, one being the antitrust law. This law, according to Issues and Controversies, gives the government the power to target successful businesses in order to protect the free market economy. It actually hinders the economy, however, because how are businesses expected to be motivated to achieve more when they know that once they reach success, the government has the ability to hold them back from continuing to advance? Another form of regulation is labor unions. According to Goddard and Frege, who are both business and economic professors, management established systems are just as effective as labor unions without the negative consequences that come with labor unions, such as employers not being able to weed out ineffective employees and employees taking advantages of their employers. If the government does not control as many aspects and leaves it up to the management of the companies, then they will be able to take a more individualized approach and be able to do what is best for their company in order to be the most successful. Some claim, however, that regulations actually help the economy, using the antitrust law as an example again. They argue that regulations protect small businesses from large corporate businesses, but they fail to consider that the free market economy punishes bad corporate behavior on its own, and competition can still thrive even when a few large companies are the leaders of a market. There are people who go to work every single day and never get recognized for their achievements. This is very discouraging to workers. In order for the attitude regarding labor to change, there needs to be some major changes in the workforce. It needs to be more supportive and encouraging. In today's workforce, millennials are seen as very lazy and less beneficial than other workers. And according to Alex Charfen, the CEO and co-founder of Charfen, which is a company that helps jumpstart entrepreneurs, it's not that millennials don't want to work, it's that they don't want to do work that doesn't matter. And I know I can relate to this because if my work doesn't matter, then I'm not going to have the motivation to do this. And millennials have a lot to offer the workforce. So if companies can tap into their potential by making their work more rewarding, which I will get onto next, and positive, and if they use positive encouragement, then it can really make them more productive. A lack of recognition and rewards in the workplace also contributes to demotivation. Abu Jabbar, the assistant professor of business, explains that employees often worry about being replaced by other employees because of the lack of recognition and positive reinforcement. If workers had more positive reinforcement, then they would be more motivated and feel more secure and would actually end up being more productive. According to the United States Census Bureau, 21.3% of Americans are on some form of government assistance, with one of the most common being welfare. Welfare comes from taxpayer dollars, and this means that the more people that are on welfare, the worse off the economy is. The unemployed have a much higher chance of needing to be on government assistance than the employed, no matter what job they have. And according to Nixon, people were turning down jobs just because they were considered menial, but if there were stricter laws on welfare, they would see that even though they may think the job is menial, if they took it, they would see how much their hard work paid off and would end up, the attitude would really improve. Some people want the government to spend more money on welfare because they think that it can eradicate poverty, but they fail to consider that the welfare isn't designed to eradicate poverty by itself. It's more of an assistance to people until they are able to be financially stable by themselves. In order to actually change the attitude regarding labor in the United States, there first needs to be major changes to the workforce. Overall, there should be less regulations on labor and specifically less labor unions. This would seem very hard and not plausible, but there are already a lot less labor unions today than there ever have been in the past, so it's a lot easier than it seems. However, this could mean less job stability and less favorable working conditions for some people. They also need to have a more encouraging environment, and this can be as simple as always making a point to provide positive feedback where it is deserved. And this could be hard for the government to enforce, and it could be slightly more expensive for companies, but the benefits that the employees will receive will really pay off in the long run. Next, there needs to be stricter laws regarding welfare, because people are cheating the system currently, but in order to be on welfare, people should have to have a job or be actively looking for a job. And this may seem hard to do, like actively looking for a job, but some government assistance programs or like unemployment already have that requirement, so they could just apply that to welfare as well. This way people realize that working is the fastest way to provide financial stability, and a good work ethic can take someone very far, even though some families might struggle economically while they are coming to this realization. Returning to what Nixon said, no job is menial, and this is something very important that needs to be realized by everyone. All of the solutions presented would lead to increased productivity of the workforce and in turn help the economy. And if the United States as a whole, they need to start seeing work as a positive thing, and then maybe the country could dig itself out of the economic rut that it seems to be stuck in.
Hey Grace, couple questions. How valid and reliable are the sources that you've used? How do you know? And which sources didn't work?
The sources that I used were very reliable because I got most of them from a database or Google Scholar. For example, the Abu Jafar guy that I used, he was a peer-reviewed source on EBSCO, and I also used Issues and Controversy as one of my sources that I explained. I did not use some of the background knowledge that I researched, like just the attitude of labor in general, because it came from Google and it was not very reliable.
Okay, good. Second question would be, how does your conclusion respond to any of the other research or other sources that you examined?
A lot of people, like welfare is very controversial, so a lot of people call for more money being devoted to that, but I took the opposite approach and said that there needs to be stricter requirements for welfare, and a lot of people that I got research from would disagree with that, but after putting all of my research together, I think that that is the right decision.